Hey everybody, Jeff here from Jazzwire. Welcome to Guided Listening this week. We've done a fair number of Art Blakey related guided listenings over the months and over the years. Here's another one. I think it's the second one from the same album. The album, I think it's called Ugetsu, isn't it? Ugetsu. And this is a Cedar Walton composition. It's live, and one of the great Blakey bands. There were so many, but it's Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Curtis Fuller on trombone, Wayne Shorter on the saxophone, tenor saxophone, then Reggie Workman on bass, Art Blakey, of course, on drums, and Cedar Walton, the composer of this tune, Ugetsu. Ugetsu, I believe, means fantasy in Japanese. This song is also called Fantasy in D. So it's been recorded under both those same names. And it's a cool Cedar Walton tune. It's if you know some other Cedar Walton tunes, such as Bolivia, this one has so much in common harmonically. Cedar Walton has these harmonic moves he liked to do. And this song is like full on Cedar Walton. We can see his signatures all over it, including some of the rhythmic signatures that the rhythm section has to play, involving the rhythm section, involving the bass player a lot in his compositions. That's also a very Cedar Walton thing to do. Hey, I want to let you know something, especially those of you in Minneapolis, St. Paul, that area of the country. I'm doing a one-day free workshop coming up on May 18th, Sunday, May 18th, from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. So I'm going to be flying out to Minneapolis and doing this one-day session in preparation for the Minneapolis, or rather the Twin Cities Summit that's coming up in mid-July. So if you want to come work with me, 2-hour session, it's free. I just need you to register though. So if you click on the link below, we can get you registered, save you a spot. We only have, a very limited number of folks that can fit into the theater that we're doing this in at the Center for the Performing Arts. So would love for you to be there. If you're in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or within driving, flying, or hovercraft distance, we want to see you there. All right, let's dig into this thing now. We'll jump into the recording, and it's really a wonderful feature for Freddie Hubbard, and like all the great Art Blakey stuff, there's the arrangements, using the 3 horns to really great effect is pretty wonderful. So let's jump in. This is called Ugetsu.
We sincerely hope you enjoy.
I think that's Art Blakey.
Beautiful thing entitled Ugetsu. In Japanese, it means fantasy.
Check out that rhythm. It comes back a lot, but it morphs too. Morphed right there. Sometimes on the beat, sometimes off of beat 1. Interesting. You hear that stop time in the rhythm section. They're hitting the end of 2 the whole time. 1 to 2, and 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Dynamics, cool. So that hit is the bass and the drums and the piano and the saxophone and the trombone. Freddie is the only guy playing the melody. Here's the second half of the tune. Just this big, long, rollicking vamp. One tonality, D major, D sus kind of thing. You know what that quote is? I think it's Old Devil Moon that Freddie starts his solo with. Woo! Dang, swing it. Holy cow. So listen to Reggie Workman on the bass, Art, and it's swinging 4/4, right? Now here's the second half of the song. So it's not walking anymore. And Art isn't swinging on the cymbal. I mean, he's playing a lot of fills, really, right? Back to the top, next chorus. So it's pretty cool. Half the chorus is these chord changes, the other half is the vamp. That is a really Cedar Walton thing to do. If you played any Cedar Walton songs, Bolivia, many more, he loves that interplay of of swinging changes versus a vamp. So we're hearing that. And these chords right here are very Cedar Walton chords. He had a set of harmony he liked that he used many, many times in a lot of different songs. A signature. Listen to all the repetition, especially in this vamping part of the solo. Freddie playing an idea, playing it over again, which helps build energy. It's such a cool release into the top of the next chorus. Playing shorter. Man, listen to how hard that's swinging. Oh my God. If you're a bass player or drummer, you need to be playing along with this album. Holy cow. Wayne is bouncing over top. I love hearing Wayne play over a busy vamp because he tends to play a lot of long notes. He tends to play slower as the band plays faster. It's kind of cool. Listen to all that repetition. Sort of 4 repetitions of that idea. Seven repetitions of that idea. Most of an A section, one idea. And again, repeating. So it's not all through composed brand new material all the time. Tons of repetition in these great men's solos. Listen to how Curtis Fuller bounces. I used that word for Wayne. I could have used it for Freddie. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-da-da. So he snaps off notes. He uses articulation to add a bounce or some space in his lines. Ba-da-da-da. Da-da-da. It's a really Curtis thing to do. Now you know how to identify Curtis Fuller from every other trombone player. Repetition. Have I mentioned repetition? Let me repeat that. Repeating. A little bit more, but repeat it a third and a fourth time. 5th time. Kind of a 6th time there. New idea. Listen to the feel of this. You know, sometimes we get in the weeds with this rhythm or that rhythm or whatever. Just how swinging this is. Insane. So he's building through the end of this. And that release in the top of the chorus, what a great compositional tool is to have the last part of your chorus with a pedal tone, right? With that sort of idea of creating energy that just needs to be dissipated, which we do at the top of the chorus, right? Cedar Walton, the composer, on piano. Hear him pounding away down on the left hand there, adding all that energy, very McCoy Tyner-like. If you drop the needle here, if you know what a needle is, you couldn't be faulted for saying, oh, that sounds like John Coltrane's quartet, like they're playing My Favorite Things or something. That vamping and the pedal and all of the rhythms going on, the joyfulness. Yeah, it's coming from that. And this is the era when Train's group was playing this stuff. And I just talked over like 42 great repetitive moments in Cedar Walton's solo. There's that rhythm. And he keeps moving it around. On. Off. On. Off. On. I've listened to this a lot of times, and they're just, especially in the solos, they use both versions of that rhythm kind of independently, but it doesn't sound like it's a mess when one guy does one and one guy does the other. They're just playing so strongly, I think. So now we're in the melody. Let's listen to what they do with that rhythm. Does it start on beat one or on the and one? And here it is. On. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. So it's changing, and it's not changing in a repeating way. So this is the end of the tune. They're vamping on that last 8-measure vamp. Freddie clearly blowing over top. So Soloist, if you're never sure what to do over a vamp, listen to the last 3 minutes of this tune. That's all you need to know. Do what these guys did. So, and Wayne sneaking in, man. This reminds me of Weather Report right here. Just like this busy band and Wayne playing slowly and really sing-songy over top. It's so great. And so Wayne playing rhythmically there, using 1 or 2 notes and connecting with the band rhythmically. All right, Freddie had his say, Wayne had his say, Curtis Fuller. You guys know what a kalimba is, an African thumb piano? This sound, I've never really thought about it before, but it sort of reminds me of that sort of pedal droning, 1 major key, but with all the rhythmic aspect to it, very kalimba-like. That's what we would call rhythmic playing. What Curtis was doing, using a couple notes, and how the band gets so fired up behind it because he's speaking their language, right? Rhythm section's language. By the way, this ending's been going on for what, a couple minutes? What's that song he's quoting? Is that Bernstein? Is that West Side Story something? Please tell me, it's driving me nuts. Okay, we've heard from the 3 horn players, we're dying out. And again, kalimba. It's a different way of playing the piano, isn't it? Pentatonic sound, again, a lot of kalimbas are pentatonic. 3-minute, 4-minute ending. I don't mind, I like it. So listen for this chord. There's a chord coming up. Do you hear that little change out of that diatonic zone we were in for the first time? And so these guys are live on stage, like, when are we going to do the ending, right? And a visual cue, but, you know, for all we know, Cedar Walton was behind the lid of the piano and couldn't see Art or, you know, whatever. So not only probably a visual cue or like his head's up, but a musical cue, something different. And kind of cool, it ended with the trio. The horn players were long gone. They could have been at the bar or halfway back to the hotel by that point. I have no idea. But yeah, interesting ending where everybody sort of got their say, and it ended with the trio, which is how the song began. So that's a really cool one. This is a song that I've been working on with one of my DC area masterclass groups. And there's a lot of room for exploration in that tune, but it creates problems because, you know, different problems than playing a song like Confirmation that has a lot of chords going by, or different yet than So What, which only has a handful of chords going by. So it's a cool, challenging tune. I'm glad we're working on it. So thank you very much for tuning into this. If you are in Minneapolis, St. Paul, anywhere in that part of the country, May 18th, 2025, free workshop with me, 2-hour workshop. My friend Elaine Burt, one of the top trumpet players in Minneapolis. She was on Broadway in New York for decades, top call trumpet player who played pretty much every show there was in New York, is now in Minneapolis. And she and I are going to be teaching this together, so I'm excited to work with Elaine on this. So just click here and we can save you a spot. I hope I'll see you coming up shortly. Have a great week, everybody.